Hi everybody, I'm Graham. Now let's see if this works. There we go. So thanks everybody for coming and making it today. I feel a bit conscious. I've not worn one of these things before, so I probably look like a bit of an idiot. So for those of you that don't know me, my name's Graham. I'm the Managing Director of Gel Studios. We're a small little agency in the UK. We love everything green. Also have a massive addiction to anything Marvel. So the office is filled with things for like Iron Man, and got helmets that I wear with like headphones in. So when I'm developing, I have an Iron Man helmet on. It's all good fun. But our niche is helping small to medium businesses. So we really like to help the little guy. We like to help the little guy get up on their competition. So we make brochure websites, e-commerce websites, full branding solutions, and anything. And MODX is at the core of that, because MODX allows us to do anything. We really do use the creative freedom that MODX allows us. So the agenda this morning, none of it's about MODX, which is quite funny. This is really about how you can use MODX to sell to your customer. It's how you can enforce your message, your agency, your development approach, how MODX can assist you to do that. Just a little show of hands here. How many of you are in a creative environment where MODX is for your end client? So just pop your hands up. Yeah, there we go. Okay, a few. Okay, so loads here, loads there. No worries. Okay, so we're going to run through what's this all about, why I'm here, why I'm passionate about bespoke development, why I love MODX. Your clients are hungry. So this is a little thing we have when we're trying to get inside our client's mind. We're going to try and run through that, so hopefully the language barrier won't get in the way today. Behind closed doors, what we do at Gel Studios, how we go about attacking a project, how we go about delivering a project, and a little bit about Bespoke, our take on it, and why it's been great for us. But first, I had the pleasure of going out with Sturk last night. He doesn't do shots. He does beer a lot, but he doesn't do shots. So I'd like to unveil something today, everybody, okay? At MODXpo 2017, we're going to start with the Buy GP a Shot Fund. So tonight, if you will, buy the man a shot. But there's a reason for this. There's a reason. How many people in this room use SEO Pro? How many people in this room use SEO Tab? How many people in this room use Call to Action TV, Formalicious? I could take a long time to tell you about all the work that this man and his agency does for MODX. And I would just like to take a moment to say thank you. And I would like to give Sturk a round of applause. Lots of shots. Also, yesterday, I had a lovely email from somebody voicing their opinion. Wow, I got this email through from thetruth@gmail.com. MODX is the only CMS where developers are self-centered enough to have an expo. Thank you, The Truth. So I replied, probably a good thing that my talk has got nothing to do about MODX then, isn't it? I don't know why. He must have been a WordPress developer. So, what's this all about? Why am I here? We're all in a creative industry. We are all experts in marketing, getting a message across. And I blame the adverts. Getting our message across to people is vital. And when we see places like Wix, 123, GoDaddy, where you can host a website for $1 a month, when you can have a website builder where you can do it all yourself, they drive me crazy. So imagine a moment, you're at your desk and you're trying to find a tutorial on how to do something. Can you visit YouTube? Yeah, so how do I create a PHP class? And then the automatic adverts come on from something like Wix, Vistaprint. The keyboard has been chucked across the office many times. It's extremely annoying. But it's our responsibility as professionals in our industry to educate our clients. We don't have to force things upon them. We can just use our knowledge and our experience to get the correct message across. Now, the biggest thing about this is we're never going to be able to do anything about all of these big companies. They've got very big budgets and they will always be there. But the thing is, it's okay. And the reason why it's okay is because each and every one of you are offering a completely different value-added service than any of those online builders and those dollar hosting companies can. In my business, when I was starting out, getting every job was important. So when you saw people getting those really cheap jobs over you, you kind of took it a little bit personally when money's really, really important. But to overcome that, when you become comfortable in what you do and you truly believe in the reason why you're doing it, those fears will just go away. You're offering a completely different product. And when you get to that stage, it's extremely enlightening and comforting. So with everything is an opportunity. We have one task to do, and I touched on it briefly a moment ago. Our job is to change a customer or a client's mindset from the very, very first time you meet them. Demonstrate lasting value. We're in MODX here, so MODX websites typically are more secure. They last longer. They load faster. They're much better for us to develop. Now, these are all great things for us because we know MODX. The customer doesn't really care about that. Don't care. What they do care about is the manager will be really easy to use. You'll be able to do really powerful things with just a few clicks of a button. These are the things that are your tools to sell MODX and get people on board. So my aim for today is for you to take away at least one thing of value, even if it's just a bit of motivation that, look, I'm doing this and it's working and it's okay and everything's good. If not, then we'll all just get drunk later. So, your clients' customers are hungry, let's feed them. So for a moment, we're not talking to the clients. So clients walked into the office and they say they want to have a new website. We're not making a website for them. We're making it for their customers. Sounds quite simple, right? But many, many times we deal with clients where they come in and I want this button moved somewhere else. I want that wording changed. Yeah, that may be great, but that's not really how it should be. So we've got this little example that we run through to get clients into that mindset, and I'd like to go through it with you today. So, who here had eggs for breakfast this morning? Okay, how did you have your eggs? A Russian way. Cooked? Okay, cooked. Yourself? Omelette? Who else put their hands up for eggs? Somebody else did. Okay, how do you have them? Omelette. Okay, so we've got different ways of having eggs, right? Okay. So we need to ask targeted questions to be able to get the outcome that we want. Okay, we need to be able to go deeper than just simply asking somebody, did you have eggs for breakfast? You know, who are you trying to sell to? What are you trying to sell? What message are you trying to get across from your website? Without asking the correct questions and challenging the responses, we can't get everything that we need. Challenging a client is okay. Challenging a client demonstrates experience. Okay, I understand what you're saying. Have you thought of this? Gets the client thinking. From our own experience, if you challenge clients in the sales process, so when you're pitching for a job, it makes you memorable. So when they go off to other agencies, other people, and they're just saying, yes, we can make you a lovely website as well, but they don't ask those key questions about their business, they're going to come away from that meeting, oh, why didn't they ask that question like Gel Studios did? Why aren't they thinking under the hood a bit more? So here's an example for you. What is your target customer? So we're going to use eggs as the example. People that like eggs for breakfast. We've got the product. We've got the position, okay? We've got the product, eggs. We've got the position, breakfast. What type of eggs do you like for breakfast? The Russian way? Omelettes? Scrambled? Fried? Eggs Benedict? Why eggs? So we're starting to ask some more questions now. Why? Why eggs? Why are you selling what you're trying to sell? Is there a reason behind it? So some examples here. I like them. They're nutritionally good for me. Would you like anything else with your eggs? So this is going to be a brilliant question for those people that make e-commerce websites out there, because this is your cross-selling opportunity. Is there anything else that we've got the ability to be able to sell there? Cup of coffee? No thanks, just eggs. We're asking more questions. And then longevity, future-proofing. After breakfast, what are you going to do for the rest of the day? Really, really busy, meetings all day until 2 p.m. So we've got this information in a very, very raw sort of format. So what does this actually mean if we process it? First answer, we know the product and the position, the eggs and the breakfast. The second, we understand the product, Russian way, scrambled eggs, Egg Benedict. My example said Egg Benedict, and that's a fancy egg. So what does that start to get across? High ticket item, premium product, good established taste, knowledge, previous wealth of experience with eggs. All of these things we can use on a website. For example, an about page, build rapport with a customer. This person knows their eggs extremely well. They love Eggs Benedict, so we're going to make a website called the Egg Master. I don't know. But all these different things allow us to make much more than just a website that's trying to sell something. With two questions, we identified the product, its unique selling point, and its direction for the ideal customer, and how they would use that solution for breakfast. The other questions give us an indication as to their personal preference, cross-selling opportunities, customer lifestyle, really, really good ways for us to increase conversion. Now, what we've done there is we've taken something called eggs, and we've turned it into the possibility to increase sales, cross-sales, all these sort of things, what make you stand out from the crowd in that very, very first meeting when you're pitching to them about a website selling eggs. So, the plan. Up to this point, all of that stuff that I've mentioned in there would typically be in our sales process. This is what we do to get people on board into the gel way. It's important to mention here that none of this, I've not even mentioned MODX. This is just our approach to communicating with our client. The client is invested personally with us at that point. These guys know what they're on about. Using the answers in our questions, we can now create a web plan. So this is where the agency work starts to begin. We know those keywords, Eggs Benedict. We know, for example, that they're going to have long meetings. They may want larger portion sizes, all of these things. This allows us to go off and start the basis of our research, so our keyword planning. This typically, in this instance, for a small website would be things like keyword research, alternate terms, URL, SERPs, all the other bits and bobs that you might have. What this also allows us to do is to explore ultimate demographics. So with regards to the coffee idea, let's have a look and see if there's any data that backs that up. Now, there clearly would be here. We've got eggs, which is a breakfast item. A cross-demographic of that would clearly be people that want to have a drink with their breakfast, right? Okay, it makes sense, yeah? So these are examples at a very, very simple level of where we can start to put things into the plan to help the success of the project moving forwards. What we can then do off of the back of those words is set out a sitemap, global site pan, and all those other bits and bobs as you do. The next thing that we do is move on to wireframes. So we all do wireframes, and there's loads of different ways out there now that you can do them. Adobe XD went into public release last week, I believe. Who's used Adobe XD? Yeah, just a couple, okay. Have a go, get one of the Adobe Cloud licenses and have a go. It's brilliant for all things, wireframing, app development, anything like that. And it's really, really good, really, really good. I recommend it. So here's a very, very brief example. This is one that we did quite a while ago, actually. So depending on the size of the project, it will either be an image, a PDF document, or more recently, XD, which is what we use because the scales of our projects have gotten bigger. The point about this is, though, is that we can hand it over to somebody. It's not a surprise. And the thing is, for an agency point of view, this can be created quite quickly. Now, our projects typically last between 4 to 12 weeks, depending on their size. If somebody engages with us for work and we're able to produce an asset, a document like this for their project within a couple of days, that demonstrates credibility. It also demonstrates that you're experts because you have a process. This is building upon that rapport with the customer or the client. We've already got them on board with regards to our knowledge about their product and their service. And now we're delivering, starting to deliver our stuff. And we've got something very early on which we can show to the customer or client. Now, there's benefits to agencies as well with regards to this approach. Planning saves time. If we have our user journey planned out through wireframes at a very, very early stage, and we're running people through sometimes quite complex user journeys of where people go through the website and what they do, there's no surprises later on. What this actually means for us is that having this extra step of doing the wireframes and then going into design actually saves us a considerable amount of design time because we're not going backwards and forwards, having to change key elements of a website. This is a really, really good process as well because at that moment in time, all we've done is we've asked people relatively simple questions about their product and looked into demographics. But by going backwards and forwards to our client with these wireframes, we can truly get into their mindset, get to know them. Once more, I've said it a couple of times here, we're building on that rapport with our customer or client. So behind closed doors. Everything so far has been facing towards the customer because they've had to be involved. They've been involved with the planning, they've been involved with the wireframes and signing them up, but now this is where the fun stuff starts. This is now when we start to develop it. So MODX is an amazing tool. It allows us to not only deliver what we said we're going to deliver, it provides us with a platform which I found through my experience typically lasts longer than other content management systems out there. You can extend upon it very, very easily. So say, for example, somebody wanted to come back in 6, 12 months and add a key piece of functionality. It's extremely easy to be able to go in and do that. But there's also another angle here. What does using MODX mean to the customer or the client? Specific admin tasks. So when we have people in and we're asking them about what they want their website to be, it's really important to understand what their website was. Because when you understand what their website was, it allows you to put many things in MODX that we all just take for granted into a solution which makes a difference. So one such example for you. Anybody used gravity forms on WordPress? It's okay, you can admit it, it's fine. Okay. So gravity forms, I think, it's very big and it does a lot of things. But if I just want to go in and I want to find my history of a form, I have to sign into WordPress, hope that it hasn't been hacked, find it in the relevant add-on menu, find the relevant form, decide loads of other bits and bobs, and then view the form submission. So 5 or 6 clicks, and I'm seeing some form information. Format, form malicious, format, all these things. Custom manager, dashboard action. I saw on one of your things earlier, dashboard things. Click, context that, really, really simple. And you also have the ability to be able to, customize what you want the form names to be. You can make it really, really simple. This is one thing that we all take for granted because we do MODX every day, but that little thing to an end client means the world. It saves them time. One of the most important things and powerful things that you can get is to accurately demonstrate to a customer or a client how much time it will save them by using MODX. MODX technically doesn't have to come into it because at this time, hopefully, the client is on board with using you. So they don't know that it's format, they don't know if it's form malicious, they don't know what extra you're using, but the fact that you're telling them this, they're on board because you've built that rapport. The other key thing here is just understanding their pains and being sympathetic to them. If you can provide solutions and go just that little bit above and beyond, it's just going to make things so much easier, better, and once more demonstrate that you're experts in your field. So a little case study here for you. We had a startup business come into our office in March. And what they wanted to do is launch an outdoor cinema website. And we did all of the research, and we identified a couple of things. We identified it needed to be easy to buy tickets. I mean, really easy. So went to book to watch Thor Ragnarok the other week. Really looking forward to it, as obviously I'm a Marvel fan. I have to find the cinema that I want to view it at. I have to pick my screen. I have to decide if I want to sign in to get a discount. I then have to decide whether I want sweet or salted popcorn. I then have to decide my seats, and 6 or 7 clicks, and I've still not even booked my ticket. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to create a proprietary system using Stripe where you could buy with one. Anywhere, whether you land on the homepage, whether you land on a venue page, whether you land on a showing page, dependent on what they do with their marketing strategy, one click. And also needed to be awesome on mobile. So retrospectively looking back, 80% of this website's traffic was on mobile. And we had to get all of this ticket booking system on a screen as small as an iPhone 5. And 16 pixel font size, because if you don't do 16 pixels, it zooms in, which is a nightmare, but we all have Apple, not. So one of the other things there is that was all the website. But based upon what I just said, there was another need there. So they're dealing with hundreds and hundreds of tickets. So by using Xpedia, version 2, we created a custom manager page where they could effectively get an agenda. They could get an attendance record that they could print off at their venue. How much time did this save them? Well, we didn't know because this was a new website, but it meant that there was no errors because the stuff was only ever going in that had been purchased. They could very easily see reference numbers. It was basically their main point of administration. This turned it from a website. What's happened there? Oh, God. There you go. Come back. Come back. Where's it gone? There you go. This turned it from a website into their most important marketing tool. And I've said many times that if marketing tools was as searched a term as website design and development, I changed my agency to be We Create Marketing Tools. So the result of that was considerable revenue in a short amount of time, minimal amounts of targeted Facebook advertising to get the right people in, and once they hit the site, we had about a 20% bounce rate, which is awesome. And out of that 20%, out of that 80% that stayed on the site, roughly about 50% of those went on to buy a ticket. So when you think about those metrics in conversion and ROI, it was really, really good. We won an AWW award for that as well. And that was the first one that we'd ever actually won. So to put that project out there and to receive an award like that for us as a small little agency was a really, really big deal. But there's more. So we went to the Digital Entrepreneur Awards in London, which is a national industry-specific thing on Wednesday night. And we won the Web Development Project of the Year for the UK with that project. Thank you. MODX was vital to us winning that. Our team were vital, our process was vital, but we would not have been able to have provided that solution without MODX. It would not have been that fast, we would not have had that conversion, we would not have been able to have the user journey the way that we wanted. This project for us was creative freedom. And that's why I'm here, because I'm a big advocate of MODX, and I really want it to succeed. And anything I can do to further develop that, I will. So a few perks here, just top level, okay? Include only what you need, no bloat. From a front end point of view, brilliant. You said that 3 is going to basically take into account the back end as well. Completely on board with that. So no template. You buy a template and it comes with absolutely everything. 50 million JavaScripts, 500,000 SAS files. It may or may not work. It's just not, look, it's just never going to be as fast as a uniquely built MODX website, or the amount of time that you take stripping all of that stuff out, checking, and making sure that it works. You'd probably been easier just developing it from scratch. Less requests, more speed, better UX, better UI. So we in Java Studios put all of our CSS files into one, so we have one request. Put all of our JavaScript files into one with some clever little logic to know what to load. So basically we have two things which give us our entire look and our entire functionality. So typically our websites in total for a landing page or a key page will have no more than 20 assets which will be downloaded. Really, really important now that Google's starting to take all these things into account. No limitations to approach. I've just proved that, right, with the Lost Cinema and pretty much all of the projects that we do. There's some amazing work which is happening in MODX right now all around the world. You made it, you know it. So everything that I've basically put and said today has been for creating a relationship with a client or a customer. So surely it makes sense if you want to have an ongoing relationship with them that your involvement with the web project is going to be as efficient as possible. So you made it, you know it. Simple. Educate your client at a top level. So you'll notice that all the stuff that I said today doesn't actually mention MODX to the end client. So you know at the end of your meeting with a client, if they come to you and they say, do you use WordPress? I've never heard of MODX. Something's gone wrong on that journey. I can tell you now, every single client that we've had come in through our door which wanted WordPress, by the time we dealt with them and went through our process and delivered, they didn't care that it was on MODX. And actually, they were grateful that it was on MODX afterwards because they were directly able to compare their before and after experience. So, bespoke, buzzword or brilliance? Come on. It is becoming a buzzword. I'm on lots of different networking forums and groups, and people say bespoke. Your £50 template that you buy, that you changed a color variable in SAS, does not classify as bespoke. Yeah, that template file that you took that slider out of and changed the size of font does not classify as bespoke. It doesn't. So it's our job to actually educate clients as to what bespoke development and the benefits are to them. It's our job at its core, regardless of whether we're in graphics design, marketing, web development, to take a message that a client or a customer has and communicate it to their intended audience as best as possible. That is our job. They come to us because they can't do it themselves. How many people have come to you and said, well, I've actually had a go at making my own website, and now, I'd like somebody else to do it. Well, those websites are quite funny. He's laughing, it's true. But sometimes clients have to go through that journey of doing it themselves and sometimes not succeeding to understand that value. Some people you just will never be able to get on board. It's something that they have to find out themselves. We do this because we're experts in our field. I touched upon it a moment ago. They come to us because they can't do it themselves. Each and every one of you are in here because you are either interested or you have used or you have experience of MODX, and that's great because there's not as many of us out there as there are WordPress people. But I can guarantee you that everybody in this room is using MODX because they're aware of the downfalls of other CMSs. You already know some of the reasons as to why MODX is a great thing for your customers. You just need to find the way to communicate it to them. Bespoke for us as a business is a mindset. It's with everything that we do. Everything is unique to that individual customer. That every single customer or client is special in their own way. Everybody's different. A website for that lady might not necessarily be the same for you. Everything is different. So why should templates try and do that as well, right? Now, the best bit about all of this is this isn't my opinion. It's not. It's fact. So by staying true to our values and accurately identifying the value proposition for our clients, I've built my agency into what it is today. I started off my agency with nothing but an old laptop and a message that I wanted to provide ethical solutions to people. Now, 5 years on, we've got a team, and we're winning national awards. It's all true. And if I can do it, any of you guys can as well. Now, I'm reading a few more books recently, which might be a surprise to some people because I'm a developer. Actual books. Smell of them is lovely. But one of the ones which I've been reading recently is by a guy called Simon Sinek. Anybody heard of him? Anybody? No? Okay, good. So this is going to go on your Amazon wish list. A saying that he had, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Now, I'll put on Twitter later a link to Simon's book, and I would highly recommend that you all have a look at it. If you're running your own business and you want to create something that's sustainable and you want to create relationships with your customers or clients, that is a great book to read. Being bespoke in our approach empowers us at Gel Studios to uphold our company values on a daily basis in all aspects of our work. We made that as a team, and that is in our office every single day. Everything we do is because of those values. That's it. Thank you very much.